Rachel Sawada, and you're watching The Sideline. Today, on this month's episode of The Sideline, we're going to be talking about the test which shall not be named, also known as the MCAT. So, if you don't know, the test which shall not be named, or the MCAT, stands for the Medical College Admissions Test. It takes about 7.5 hours to complete, including breaks and the 4 main sections. The 4 sections that it includes contain chemistry and physics, biology and biochemistry, the CAR section, which stands for Critical Analysis and Reading section, and a psychology and sociology section. It's a really long test, but basically anyone who's applying to medical school has to take it. So the test which shall not be named is basically like any other standardized test, like your SATs or your ACTs, but it's just a lot longer and it's for going into medicine. Since our 2+s here at CHS are currently in their application process to the College of Medicine, they all had to take the MCAT in the past week or two. Let's go through the halls and try to see if we can find some of them and ask them their thoughts on the test which shall not be named. Also, as a side note, you should know that when you're talking about the test which shall not be named, there's a reason why it's called the test which shall not be named. It's a very touchy subject, especially on this campus with some students, so you want to be careful when you're bringing up that topic. I'm currently in the halls of CHS. We're gonna go roam and find some people to talk about the test which shall not be named. Hey! Hi. You took the MCAT, right?
Yes, unfortunately.
Can I ask you some questions?
Sure.
Look at these shoes. They're so cool. Hey Pranav, you're a 2+, right? You took the MCAT.
Yeah.
Can I ask you some questions about it?
Sure.
The evil of lying.
Oh, hey, Isa.
Oh, hey.
You took the MCAT, right?
Yep.
Can I ask you a few questions about it? Hello, can you tell us your name and a fun fact about you?
Oh no. Okay, my name is Isa Anwar, and a fun fact about me is that I have, I think, 8 pets at home.
Hi, I'm Pranav, and I like warm hugs.
My name is Husni, and I'm really fun.
My name is Sujata, Sue for short, and I carry around hot sauce in my backpack in case of emergencies.
I'm Nasreen and I like to play basketball.
You're finally done with the MCAT. How does it feel to be finally done?
It's a little more relaxing, but I don't think I'll feel fully relieved until I actually get my score, which isn't for almost another month. So
It feels good. It feels a lot of relief because I'm like, wow, I actually have time for other things. But it's still kind of, until I get the score back, it's still kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
It feels like second semester senior year. I haven't been doing much. I should probably get in the groove of school, but I just feel more relaxed. You know, a lot of some things that have been weighing me down, it just feels like they've been lifted all of a sudden. I feel a lot more free.
I kind of thought I would be like relieved because I'd be like, oh, no more practice tests, no more flashcards, but like I'm still waiting on results, so it's kind of just like I'm holding my breath right now.
Amazing. Really nice. I'm a little bit more relaxed, but I'm still nervous because the scores aren't out.
Do you have any interesting or weird pre-test rituals?
Yeah, I listen to some music. It was like Imagine Dragons. You know, it's like they have a good song. It's like Look How Far We've Come or whatever. It's like, you know, it's good for every test, I think, because it's like, look how far we've come. You know, you study and then you're much further than you were before you started studying.
I had like a lucky pen that my aunt gave me like when I graduated high school. I had that on me. I also kind of bought out the stress relief section of Bed Bath & Beyond. So I was like putting like oil on my like pulse points and stuff. Other than that, pacing and cursing seemed to help a lot too.
Studying. It's pretty weird.
I just like to relax, and at least when I was studying, not during practice tests, I used to take breaks to watch like 10 or 15 minutes of Netflix just to relax, but not anything that I typically did every single time.
I feel like I was just praying a lot, not to be that person, but actually I am that person. I was just sitting there praying for like 30 minutes straight. So last resort kind of thing.
If you could go back in time and tell your pre-MCAT self one thing, what would it be?
I think I focused a lot on content review because we do take it early on, but I think the last month where I did a lot of strategy and practice was the most helpful. So I think I would tell myself to just focus on doing practice and focusing on the things that I don't know as well to improve on those specific topics.
Use every moment of the day well, you know, like be deliberate. Don't just, you know, just do things because you have to. Like, have a plan for every moment, because you're gonna wish for every second back when you're like about to take the test. You know, it freaks you out.
Study more. Oh, know your amino acids.
So I'd probably just say practice a lot more. I know I read in a book, like when I was way deep into like MCAT studying, where I was like, the first thing you should do is take a complete full length with open books, open notes, just so you can feel the layout of the test. And like as I was reading it, I was like, wow, that's really great advice. Too late for that though. But I would say that's like a really good thing to do, just to like know like, okay, this part of the book seems to be very emphasized, this one doesn't, and just get a feel of like, this is the material that you memorize, and then this is how you need to apply it.
Get more sleep.
True, sleep's important. You may not like this question, but what is your favorite thing about the MCAT? One thing that's your favorite thing.
Oh man, that's a hard one. You know, like the last question of the psych section, you know, once you're done, it's like that one, yeah.
Being done.
Yeah, exactly, being done. I like taking tests, but you know, that's just a long test. Like it's mentally exhausting. So when you're finally done, it just feels great.
I mean, I think like after every practice test, I would kind of reward myself with like a chocolate chip cookie to be like, yay, you sat down for like 6 hours, you deserve this. So I'd say the cookies.
The rewards that you give
rewards.
yourself.
Yeah.
I think some of the topics on cars and psych were actually interesting to learn about, and even biology. There's a lot of like diseases that came up. So some of those things were kind of cool to learn about, and it's stuff that we've maybe even covered in class before. So I guess the fun part was learning new stuff or just reviewing stuff that you know and you're like, oh, I already know this. So yeah.
The lockers were kind of cool. They just open kind of cool when you unlock them. I don't really use keys that much, so I was like, ooh, I'm so fancy. But besides that, sometimes I actually found the articles interesting. Like I would read them and be like, oh, I didn't know that. Are these like accurate? Can I actually like quote these later in my life?
Yeah.
So basically that.
Every time it's a surprise.
What's your least favorite thing about the MCAT?
Every time it's a surprise.
Probably just memorizing all the formulas, because like there's just so many, and like definitions you can kind of just like associate with a word, but formulas are like, well, here's like a random assortment of like what the alphabet threw up, let's just memorize it. So
It's a long process. I think I started almost 1.5 years ago. And the thing is, like, you have to constantly start reviewing, otherwise you forget the old stuff, and then it's like you have to do it over and over again. So the hardest part, or the least favorite part, was the fact that there's so much review that you constantly have to do.
It's 7 hours, you know. I mean, we get breaks, but still, it's like a 7-hour test, and you just have to grind through it. And they just make sure that you trip up somewhere, you know. It's just that's how they get you. But I think you just have to be focused for 7 hours, and that's really long. And that's like my least favorite thing.
I feel like the least favorite thing is that it's kind of hard to study for, in the sense that you can study so many things, but like only certain things are going to be on there, and like those can be really random or specific. So like you could have studied like mitosis really well, but then like it's not on there, and like the one thing you didn't study could be on there. So that unpredictability is kind of like And the fact that you get your score a whole like month later is kind of annoying. It's like, it's all on the computer, it's multiple choice. How long can it really take? But yeah.
We have a lot of viewers who are planning on taking the MCAT. So do you have any advice for them?
Know your amino acids and study, but don't stress too much, because it's not worth it. Yeah, it is actually, but don't stress, but it's worth it. I'm not good at giving advice.
Yeah, just practice a lot. Just study, but don't like just study the whole time. You know, you need to take a lot of practice tests. So once you study and you know the information, you just got to start taking practice tests, a lot of them.
I would say if you're gonna take a test prep course, be careful and see which one is best for you. I took one that was very structured, and it had like a professor that did a live course with me. If you feel that you don't need that much review, or if you want to focus at your own pace, then take maybe just the materials and do the self-study course, because those courses tend to go over a lot of strategy, but if you don't need the strategy early on, then focus on content and so on.
I would just say kind of take breaks, because I found that kind of maximized my efficiency when I was actually working, just because like if you just sit down and work all day, you kind of start to lag by the end of the day. But if you kind of take breaks, kind of like take walks, or like even if you're just like doing jumping jacks, like something to kind of just get your blood flowing or get your mind off of it for a little bit. It kind of just like enhances it when you go back to be like, okay, my mind's a little refreshed. Let me go back into this full force.
Definitely start studying as early as you can. Like, don't try to like leave it all to the end. Study your amino acids. That's like really important. And take practice tests, like as many as you can, because those like, and actually take them like one full sitting of like 6 to 7 hours, so it's like the real thing. And don't like stress out too much that like you're studying so much you're not even sleeping or taking breaks, because you're just gonna forget things and like it's not gonna stick. So try to find a balance.